Today, Rinpoche clearly explained how constant effort is necessary in order to understand any of the basics within Buddhism. A cursory glance at the material will not allow one to have any realizations. Looking at Lama Tsongkhapa's life, he gave everything he had to be able to realize this pure Dharma. If we wish to have his realizations, we have to do the same thing he did.
41 is it?
The Shiloka, which, what did you say, Lech?
41.
Yeah. Shiloka Jipju Jichi.
41 is not. Pegu Tadan Jungo said,
The day chair. Jipju Jini.
41 is not the
Yine, the Shiloka 41.
Ale.
Ngatsu NGK Shiloka Trankaja.
The sugar never caused it.
The Jiju Jini.
Ni. Yeah, all did it. Usually not.
Okay, this. So that's first. So we finished everything up to there, you're saying, Lich?
Correct.
Okay, so let me just get everything together here.
The shit to church in there. Lala good and gentle. Do be near the Monshu to Jamaica by was there.
This is so uncomfortable.
What then? What things? What the title to go to Joshua?
Okay. I just need the English version you have. Detsuko Khensur NGK. Yure Hinengame. Does anyone just have a copy I could use real quick? So I could just. Is there another one though? Because you need one. I have one in here. I just would have to find it. Sure. You got one? Fantastic. Thank you so much. Okay, so stanza number 41 reads, "For its sake, you have given away again and again over countless eons, sometimes your body, at others your life, as well as your loving kin and resources of wealth." And as I've been doing, I'll read this alternative translation, just opens things up. "For its sake you gave again and again over countless eons, at times your body, at times your life, your dear family and ample wealth." So that's stanza number 41. Digsung, Shiloka Losa.
Yeah, Pegu Tadan Jumba, Tawu Gidu Dombatan, Jigu Tuni Teshiba, Lunduko draw a piece. What day about Lunduko draw a piece?
Kayori.
Put you one to Marve.
Yomar de Rimche. Jujuni. Denjagi chu zamol de sewa yichir.
Alatender, they should the church in the
Datayen.
They should the church in the Lago de Gentus to be near the long shoes to Chamake by a town. Whatever, the name of it.
Datayen.
They should the church in the Lago de Gentus to be near the long shoes to Chamake by a dance. Sinyatanji Sanji Kupon to be shed to Injirwa. Sinyatanji Sanji Kupon to be shed to Churchines, Shajatuba Church, Lala go dance, Lala then the Kujimbata, Sujimbataya, Dubi Nye Jimbataya, Lonshu to Jimbataya, La Subakebatan, Jamekeba, Jamekeba, what in the Le Sujimbatana, La Sube, or Tusa, Deja Momana, you are. Jamaica ya tam. That no old man debattation was that.
That's so.
Tendage, choose a Monday, choose a Monday, Savati, shadow, they should the chet was, they should the children at Redwa. Tendage a Monday, tendage some more. Tendage that you to signal tendage in Logro, tendage. Jujela tembi tende, duje ina jujela tembi tende dan, dajela tembi tende niga imi chao. Dumashi ina dajela tembi tende imi chao tende. Kanze jutu na tende imi chao. Tende ina chukangala tembo matu bares, wata sondu maraba. Tende juchu samande jawa yi shete, sheto ta sanji kumutu biche zin tabu inje, te cheto, Tamba Church ne, Tudo Nego Lala, Hajaman Buddha Church, Tudo Nego Lala, and Rangi ne, Kodan Lujin Batan, Tam Lujin La Suba to Zenjirova.
Ale, the Dendel Gichut Samo Ale, De Cheer, Dendel Gichut Samo.
Tende Samo,
Ale, De Cheer,
Tombanin Shebi
Ale,
Chedo,
Tuchena, Gonga
and
Mebshi,
Treje,
Mambuda,
Tudan Keba Lala,
Lesso.
and
Okay.
Kodan Lujin Batan, Tujen to Sujin Batan, Sudan Hindu Dubi, Potom Bumola Subinian Bataya. Tende say, c'est Guineme la Suba. C'est Guineme, Jemba la Suba, Tala Suba, Yjere. Jemba la Suba, Longe Jitsu Nam. Chame Bikeba, Lenji Zama Imba, Yane, Yado, Tangos. Tene, Zanlun Sune Sheba, Do Zanlun, Zindane, Kaju Jiro, Do Zanlun Sumbatar, Chuchi Riri Shedo, Le la jazi ton dabadans, ne mame ton zobadan me chombala soba, ta chu cheji rigi chedo, ne le la jazi ton daba, chu kambal jazi dabana, jazi ton dabadans, ne mer chomba, me ton zobas, an zobal matsoya, sagarwa, ne mer chombala soba, what the nigga chu de chedo. Tende mamana yara son sare soba wo sawat bat galechi jujana
And the Donagar, the Marme Yamla. Marme
mam don sobas
Yamla.
kendo yala ma chagro mam
Then Tonsu.
don sobatas
Tonsupa?
1000 man mam
Ale, 1,000. Thank you.
yeah.
Ale. Then they Merchomba?
Machomba dan pel masuk le masak dang do dan da butu yiro da manchomba
Ale, is for all to see. Chutsik cherere. Chutsik cherere.
chumbala soba osa odi danda do deres mo den
Okay, so for its sake you gave again and again. For its sake you have given away again and again over countless eons, sometimes your body, at others your life, as well as your loving kin and resources of wealth. So for what sake? What is it that's being spoken of here? And when we look at the commentary by Junu Jetsundrapa Shidrup, we'll see that it says it is the profound instruction on dependent origination, or the samo, the subtle or profound teaching on dependent origination that is being spoken of here for its sake, and ultimately for the sake of becoming a Buddha. So ultimately, what is it? It is the teaching, it is the subtle teaching on dependent origination, which is the root. But ultimately, what does one gain? One gains Buddhahood. Those Rinpoche spoke of those, both of those. So, in looking at dependent origination, there are two different types. So when we speak of this subtle dependent origination that has been expressed, we're speaking of the two types of dependent origination. Dependent origination of causes and conditions, and dependent origination of establishment. So both of these types of dependent origination are being presented here as the its sake in this particular context. And again, becoming a Buddha is ultimately what is the purpose, but the teaching that's good. I wanted to see if there's some etymology in here that would kind of show where both of these. But anyway, so ultimately, for the sake of becoming a Buddha, what is the Rinpoche? Nga chiwa yure. Ngi selpo lagu. Dei chir du chugi ne. Dei chir sho shanchu.
Dende samo tuba.
Dende samo.
Dende samo. Sanji kumo tuba chi raban rabu rota.
Okay, so I said if you were to say, posit that which is it, in the for its sake, he would say, Rinpoche said it would be what it says here, the sublime, the profound teaching of Dharma of dependent origination. But then I said, so not enlightenment? And he said, very similar. You could explain it similarly. So I think it, just as it was, I explained it originally, is the way he explained it, so I explained it that way. The clarification is just that there are ways to look at the it. Where the its sake being the teaching, which is the Buddha is, if you see dependent origination, you see the Buddha. As a translator's note, there's that statement, when one sees dependent origination, one sees the Buddha. So its sake, dependent origination, is like a nominal designation for the entire, what it encompasses, everything, what that leads to. In this case, apparently. Then it says again and again over countless eons. So one over countless eons, the eons that can't be counted, that there were so many of them, one engaged in giving away the various accumulations. It says, at times your body, at times your life, your dear family, and ample wealth. It says that one could not count the number of times you've accumulated these things and become familiar with such practices. You've given thousands of butter lamps and for all to see, and something about the words of the Dharma. I'm not sure. I'd have to just translate this on the spot. But it's saying that you examples of the many things that one has done lifetime after lifetime after lifetime in order to achieve a complete state of Buddhahood, in order to achieve a state of knowing.
Dubi nye dang shu tu taman keba yang dang sa de tubi shajaman bude ne den du yo re su dubi su do de de dang yo bare da ni ba de ne de to ba je ba je de chung chu sa da sam dong ni dubi dong do ba ju le chung yu chu de ji chu de de ma dang yo bare da ni ba ne dan de ji chu gang ge yo de ne dan de chu gang ge yo de ne 강경에 된 통화에 자주냐라 제제도 니제도는 주든 줄래 마트 개와신 대냐가 수제네 두비불라 마이 제수송아 제제도 다기는 동매지 늘라와 주송 상반나 쳔비베지 로dom바 쳔비베지 로dom바 외지자유 용고유 땀바디 상제 den de sonya do yela to be zonye shawa zang chawa yi donglan da ji jin do me de me du shongwa yi what about do ne te doni sam to ba de je ta chong bu chu do de den go ma de den go le son den za le den de jin den de chu gang ge den nes Tendi chizuna andal yede mabuyo tendi chizuna tala tene deba maruba shene gare deba maruba shene zuna denzil nön gare denzil nön zuna nyomuda lel nön gare tene taba taji chamba toyala so bote su yongres what courage led marbe.
So when we look at this statement, there are two ways. We see that it's for its sake you. You here is speaking of Shakyamuni Buddha. So the Chu Shachatupa.
Then
She
the Chu Gandhi Dennis, then there's some Chu then there's some Shizuna, and then you then when is what the Dangan knows at.
So for its sake, you gave again and again over countless eons, at times your body, at times your life, your dear family, and ample wealth. So you here is Buddha Shakyamuni, and here, for its sake, we can say of to become Buddha. But here, when we look at this alternative explanation here, we say that the Buddha, for the sake of this teaching, did all of this, because it was the teaching that is, Rinpoche explains that. Just let me think of how to context this. So, for its sake you gave, you, Buddha Shakyamuni, for what sake? In this context, for the sake of the profound dharma that is dependent origination. Because once one realizes dependent origination, then he or she understands there is no true establishment. One negates true establishment. If one negates that, then one negates the grasping at true establishment. If one gets rid of grasping at true establishment, then one gets rid of the karma and the afflictions that the grasping at true establishment gives rise to. And if one gets rid of those karma and afflictions, then the cyclic existence that the karma and afflictions give rise to no longer occurs either. Then there is a state of cessation, a state of liberation, and in the context we're speaking of, a Buddhahood. So it is this profound dharma of dependent origination that allows that to occur. So Rinpoche said it's a big circle when we talk about any of these things, when we say things like the Buddha is dependent origination, or if you see dependent origination, you see the Buddha. It's this circle that comes back in that manner where we see how that one root is able to get rid of everything that isn't Buddha. So then it says the Buddha, over countless eons, gave simple things as well as his body and his or her body at times. Dig Son Rinpoche. Because this is a translator's note. When we speak of Buddha's previous lives, Buddha Shakyamuni was a male, but when we look at previous beginningless time, we can't say his as soon as we get to a few before, because we can't be certain. That's why I said it the way I did.
That then is I'm sure the Nazu Sanjir Nazu Toyo Marwa. Sanji Gage, Nangazu Toyo Marota. Sanji Son, the Namajaga Kiba, Bendata to the June, Nangazu. Pödan or the Shambhala to Delmar. Nai Demba Shan and Shantu Towers, Sanji Wote, Sanji Demba de, Jaga Duji Den, Shan Tagres, Shampu, then Shantu Tower, Shambhala, what the Sultaners, Nai Demba Shan and Shantu Towers, Town Jursen Bare. Sanji Demba de, Jaga Duji Den La Tude, Shan Tagres, Shampu Berge.
Shar.
Shan. Doji den doing Shan yimber Shan.
Okay.
Baba Shan.
Okay, Bodhigaya.
Doji den Shan, Bel Tagres, Shan to Tar Sadu, Shambhala. Shambhala Tare. What the Sanji Loyo Drota.
And Sanjay Lon Doji Den a Pula.
Doji den Sanji Sonshabi Chute, Kulo Basmula, Chute to Kangalo, and Shan Kabatagresana, Jaga Doji den la Tude, Shan. Bel Tanagres, Shantu Sondi, Shambhala the Sultanagres. I never Shan and Shantu Town Joros.
Okay.
What the Sula doing it, and the Jaga Kiba to bird now want to Sulchiwa and then Injirota.
I see. So the Buddha made a prophecy that his teachings would be looked at in two specific places. The Buddha said when the teachings arise out of Bodh Gaya, they will be expressed and looked at in places like Tibet and Shambhala. So this is the reason why we see the Indian Pandits make their way to Tibet and help to propagate the Dharma because of this prophecy we find within Scripture. Any mistake in this is my mistake. I'm not familiar with any of this, so I'm doing the best I can live. Excuse me.
다 강게 된 통화에 자주 냐라 제진 돈이 저런 최도네 최르마도 교화신스 단 된데 사무 단데 존된데 제 된데 사무송에 된데 는 아주 사실을 무슨 아주 돼요 말아봐 자주 냐라 제진 돈이 저런 최도네 는 사실을 아주 무슨需要 마조받은 아주 교화신 말이스 교화 전부 말이스 교화신스 디 냥한 수지네 두비불라 마이 제수송아 제진도 다기인 동메지스 네 이도데 사질 대바 단데 소모들 대바 때문도 서면도 동메지 단 대바 동마레스 동메지 데라 최송상바나 데라 사자만보다 최지 단데 사무 송바데 내가 산당바이나 쳔비베지 라돈바 사자만보다 세종 소지산이다 비리종고 제주 제바로와 쳔비베지 라돈바 외지자의 용구이 네 최송바데 꼴리 외지 쳐발아서
치랑 카비어레 림체
된den으로
얘네들 나라성 추카비어레
관계에 대한 통화 자주 냐라 제진도 니지도나 주드네 최르마도 교화신 어떤 말도 매배 된데 주가
this shloka tsar dene this shloka ni
관계에 대한 원대로
gangi yunten this shloka sarpa okay gonga mepichi so we're moving
관계에 대한 자주 냐라 제진도 니지도나 주든 다가 된데 사면 주되 안는 아주 성질 뭐需要 마주로 어디 송대다 최르마도 뭐需要 마주보던 가서 교화신 말이스 교화 멤버스 교화 전부 말이스 교화신 디 양한 수준은 세 마지번도 두불라 마이 제수종 제진도 다기 인도메스 안에 마게 버들드네 제수종 나진 사자문도 보다게 되네 아주 삼아 제수종 되어로다 다기 인도메제 데라 최종 상바나 사자문보다 주지 콜동 바발아서 송바 내데 요레 사방 장근도스 데라 최종 상바나 샘비베지 로동바 사자문보다 세종 소지자니다 베지 지주 베종 지주 제바로다 샘비베지 로동바 외제 자유 용구에도 꼴로 외제 트네 안에 담바디 차야지 든다다 소냐도스 콜로 바다송라서 받아서 든다다 소냐도 일라 투비 조냐네 일라 안가스 일데 차그로다 일라 투비 조냐네 샤와자야 차와이 동란다 지진도 매 대대면도 shum아이스 워드바도렌도아
Okay, all right. So and this next goes quite far when we look at the commentary itself. So we read stanza 42, 43, 44, and I believe 45. Let me just double check that. If you give me 1 second, I can be sure of that. 44, 45, Denny. Yes. Okay, so we're going to read all the way through 45. So the Khensur de Delpa NGK Yomare. The Khensur de Yomare. The Sawa Yure. Then Sawa Trankaja. Shiloka Chi. Shiloka Nipa. Shiloka Sumba. The Khensur Kona.
Okay.
Khensur Delpa Yomare Rinpoche. NGK Yomare. Tandazu. Okay, so now you're on stanza number 42. Seeing the qualities of this teaching pulls hard from your heart, just like what a hook does to a fish. Said it is not to have heard it from you. The intensity of that sorrow does not let go of my mind, just like the mind of a mother constantly goes after her dear child. Here too, as I reflect on your words, I think, blazing with the glory of noble marks and hallowed in a net of light rays, this teacher in a voice of pristine melody spoke thus in such a way. The instant such a reflection of the sage's form appears in my mind, it soothes me, just as the moon's rays heals fever's pains. Now, I'm definitely going to read this, and you can look at the 42, look at yours, and just see as I read. I'll read it slowly. Upon seeing the virtues of that Dharma fathomed by your mind, I was drawn like a fish on a hook. How unfortunate not to have heard that teaching directly from you. By the force of that sorrow, my mind can't give up that thought, like a mother's whose mind is consumed by the thoughts of her dear son. But when the thought of you teaching comes to mind, this is how the Master taught, blazing with the splendor of his signs and marks, encircled by an orb of light, and speaking with such a pure voice. Just the image of that Muni that I conjure in my mind soothes this pain, as does the light of the moon for one tormented by the heat of the sun. Here this is showing the reverence here that Lama Tsongkhapa is speaking of Buddha Shakyamuni and speaking of all of the major and minor marks and the clear light that is constantly being ascertained. Let me just see something here. Okay, then the Donda
That
Garden.
then you choose some of the two now the pension of yours, pen can do yours and two but Sanji, 10 days some of that 10 day image you never maru with Marba. You to signal 10 day road. And then I told you in a gas again there, Pomo Momojilla doing and gas again the Jagu Mato, Martin and gas as Modod. And Pomola doing it or doing it to buy into Matuba or to Mabaro. Madon never maru whatever. Ngala soba to suk ngalo daje pombola tune troba yinza ma de ba rang de troba mero ta what the she zona yeden chibres to ba zanjis sibi zawa khu zal ne ne gres denzil ne ne gres denzil chuno de ba troba de denzil khu zal marbe chuno de ba maru de she zona denzil ne ne gro and what the khu zal denzil ne ne gres taba de ma yin ba she zona denzil lol ne ne gro what the rubbish on the marbe?
So the Dharma itself is presented at its root as the teaching of dependent origination. The understanding that when we look at our aggregates, as presented in the teaching, we look at our parts. We don't find one specific part that we can inherently establish as us. We see that there are a collection of aggregates that come together and form some sort of a compound and then are nominally designated as this or that. But there is no separate, identifiable, isolated thing that operates from its own side without coming into being through dependent origination, through this process of collection and then naming. So it is the misconception that believes that there is some sort of inherent existence in things that causes one to experience the negativities of cyclic existence. So when we look at what the root of cyclic existence is, it is the grasping at phenomena as being truly established. Once one grasps at phenomena as being truly established, then this is what starts or makes cyclic existence occur, this grasping. So its removal causes the removal of all the experiences and things that it causes. So using the example of a rope and a snake, that's used many times, Chandrakirti's text, where we see if you walk in a dimly lit room and you mistake a rope for a snake, and then you become scared, the only thing that can remove what occurs from thinking that it's a snake is the understanding that it's a rope. So once you know it's a rope, everything is removed that comes along with thinking it's a snake. Likewise, once you establish that things are collections that are named, that things come into being through interdependence, dependent origination, and therefore they are not truly established, this gets rid of the idea that makes one grasp at things as being truly established. So by knowing that they are not truly established, that their essence is non-true establishment, is not inherent existence, it gets rid of the idea that it is inherent existence. Just like knowing that the rope's a rope, it gets rid of the idea that it's a snake. So negating it with the truth is the only thing that reverses that true misconception and calls it what it really is. That phenomena really is not truly established. The misconception is that phenomena right there is inherently existent, is truly established. The idea that it's not is its opposite is what gets rid of that misconception. So the qualities of this teaching are that which is that's what I've just said, or that's what when we begin to seeing the qualities of this teaching. What is this teaching? This is the teaching which is the praise of dependent origination. So this whole context of praise is about the Buddha Shakyamuni's teaching on dependent origination. So here, seeing the qualities of this teaching. So what is this teaching? So Rinpoche just again defined what this teaching is. It is the understanding that the aggregates come into form a compound. When we look at the case of the us, for instance, our I, we have a collection of aggregates that come together to make a compound, and then that compound serves as a suitable designation to be named as, in my case, as a translator's note, Jeff. But there is no inherently existent this or that is separate from that process of collection, naming, and so forth. So the interdependence, it pervades all things when we look at establishing them or calling them this or that, bringing them into being. They rely on collections and names. Diso.
Tatani jaju nyala wote puna setro. Puna jaju nyala te nyan remba darasa ta chun nyan tu jaju ya tengro wada. Remba goba chetawa jintu tenba chuji tu jamba te chubi tende samu tene tenba chu nyili ngonso 마트바 텐데서 텐데 임비 주세지 대바 마루바데 산제를 뭐 수야 마주바다 가서 개와신 버레스 마트비 다네 개와신 버데 매바시고 냐도 산소스 개와신 바스 다다르 삼바티 냥엔지 슈데 도지네 버나 헤도 제신 두비 버셔와라스 아마들 보고도 시소나 나 아마를 냥에 온 거로다 시와라 되니지 마이 이 지수 송화때 수바 제다와진도 버시소나 아마를 두고 온 거로다 제다와진도 덤바 주 전에 괴신 저번 듬발레 다기네 동안 메제라소스 덤바 주 전에 사자만보다 주 전에 안절로 그바 제거래 되바던 된발래 다기 동아마지바 안에 최전에 뒤다도 상제로 그바다 샤세와라서 봐 되발라서 봐 와도 속간가는 가서 시기인 손대사래 동아마지바 라소 니지 투노 Niji Turan Shebane, Kodewa Shena, Niji Turan Chetane, Chulimatu Kawashin, Niji Turan said, Kodewa Shena, Nindi Kokores, Kodewa Shena, Jaju Yandembatan, Trane, Shawala, Juba Tijintus, Tajaju Chun Yatan Uru, Tenajin, and the Swanjil Tendi Samatungo Suya Rasun, Jaju Yandembanajero, the Natul Tishua Mares, Jaju Yandembatan, Trane, Shawala, Juba Tijinto, Tendi to be Pentone, Tendi to be Pentone, Tumbi two tentis. Tendi image de Omatu Sonjaba, Shajaman, the Sonjaba de what the Naso and what the Nasu told Oteyoris. Tone, Tembi two Tante, Tendi Chutoala, and Beber, Zizebos, Humeba, Toala. That then is some to be said on Masubajatago, the San Momadan Rota. So Allah, when Beber, Zejeba was, and then what the Kalimo Jaguares, the Jeba. Kawashamba, Chelma to Kawashans, Kawashamba, the Madakosa, Kawashamba to what did G. Son to Madabares. Madako Yitung Majebane Kawashambane Madako Yitung Majebane Tumbala Question Tubi Dumba Majuba was Yitua Majeba Tendi Tuala Beba, they jebo. Kawashan Sheba ne Madagos. Kawashamba said Madaba son and Rabmudwe. Madago Yegi Madabares. Yitung Majeba ne, and Yintung Majes, Yitung Majeba ne. Yitung Majeba nes. Tumbala Sanjiki Chuson Javidan, Veden to the Nato, the Pesatan or the Shego, and the Sanjil Tebat and Shatsawala Zuba, and Sanjil Lu Dangamares, Tumbala Question, Tubi in Dumba, Manjubos, Question.
The Dudushe, the Dondagare, the Dondagare Rinpoche, the Dudu, Donda. Can you say it? Sikh Kanga, the Bechazu. The Dutsu Yomari, the Bechazu Tugumari. Yine, the Duduk Dondagare, the Gyalpa Shen Sheba, the Dondagare, Yi Tombar, Mepa. The Gare, Ngehako Mari. The Tandak Chiranlo. Gyalpa Shen Sheba ne.
Kawashans, Chelmatu Kawashans. Tak Tendi Sanjik Tendi Samsung Shawatangato, Sanjil Mos to Marwa. Matuba to Kawashan Bares. Chel Matu Kawashan.
Ale, Sanjil
Sanjil Mos to Marwa.
Ale.
And the Sanjil Matane, Sharibata Magaj Pola Soba, the Sudan range, Nalanda Kavatul Junior.
They Yabudu. Okay, shit. The Pentol.
What and
the Sharipu, the Anje Gumason, Gangisene Ale.
Mosu Gumason.
Musu Gumason. Yene Sharipu, Dang.
Sharibata Mangibotan, what the Sanjil Homato, the Nema Nalanda Kebatan, then the Kalekaling Asoko Marbe.
Tuchena. So I've asked Rinpoche if he could. So he's just reading the entire thing and just going, and there's really I can't do much with that. So I've asked him to kind of summarize and tell points. So we're because it keeps you don't have this in English. Anyway, so this teaching on dependent origination, here it talks about when we look at it in its commentary, it talks about seeing the qualities of this teaching pulls hard from my heart, just like what a hook does to a fish. Sad to have not heard it from you. Then Rinpoche, the Shiloka, the Gangi Yunten Tomba Yi, Laju, Nyala, they don't, they Nyala. Less so. Less so. Okay, so I'm going to read from here because this is more. Upon seeing the virtues of that Dharma fathomed by your mind, I was drawn like a fish on a hook. How unfortunate not to have heard that teaching directly from you. So here, when Lama Tsongkhapa is saying that when he heard these teachings, he heard these excellent qualities that were so undeniable, he was drawn to them just like a fish was looking at a hook or seeking out a hook. So just the shiny object that catches the fish and causes the fish to chase that hook. Lama Tsongkhapa was drawn to the Dharma's excellent qualities in the same way that a fish does to that hook. But Lama Tsongkhapa says what's unfortunate is that I haven't heard it from you, but I have been able to hear it. So it's saying that. So how is it possible? Lama Tsongkhapa, then it goes on in this commentary to say that it's through the great kindness of Shariputra and Mugiputra and all of the arhats and so forth that disseminated the teachings and kept them intact and made sure that they were pure so that we could then have the pronouncements of Lord Buddha, and then all of the authentic Indian commentaries and all the Nalanda scholars and so forth, and then all of the Tibetan scholars, and all of these teachers have made it so that Lama Tsongkhapa, in this case, is able to hear this holy Dharma, even though it is by way of other. It isn't directly from Buddha Shakyamuni. It is from a credible source, meaning that it is considered the words of Buddha Shakyamuni. So within this it says that they are the words of Buddha Shakyamuni, therefore it's like hearing it right from you, because these words are so credible. Selpuldu Rinpoche, the Pentodu.
Oh yeah,
Dene.
Chölo ma tu keba shenro. Tende sami chöde sanjil ngos ne shuya ma jumba tanga tu keba shenbares. Ta kaji jigo de keba jens jados te mada bares. Keba jens nada iyan se umarbe iyan. Iyan se keba marbe. Keba jen sheba na mada gosa. Chölo ma tu keba jajuma tu keba jens logwares. Keba jens loba ina o te mada bares. Keba jen cheba na mada gos. Keba iyan rebe.
Iyan.
Nada iyan. Sheba to te mada bares. Sheba na mada gos. Te mada bares. Keba jens sana ta bares.
A different.
Keba jens na mada bares.
Oh, and if it had been another eon, I wouldn't see this. So it's saying that we need to realize that if it was another time, Lama Tsongkhapa, if it was in another time, he wouldn't see this. There is an eon in these eons of darkness that we say in the dark eons where we will not see this. But this isn't the case. Here is a time when we can see this. Dene?
Ta dene.
Yitome.
Madago yitomba majeba yitomba majeba. Yitomba majebas. Yitomba majeba ne tumba la question ane tubi tumba manjuba was. Yitomba majeba sana. Ne sanjil ko ba maje. Ane tuba majeba yina wote ane sanjil tumba meba. Manjuba was wote chöji ne tumba jesa do de bare.
Dunba meba? Gosh. Sanjay Dumba.
이 동화 메제바는스
Less so.
다게 이는 동무 제사도 말이야.
Less so.
다게 이는 동무 제 이 동화를 메제바는스 이 동화 메제바도 간을 고거에서나 덤발아 괴신 되비 되바 만주바스 덤발아 괴신 되비 되바 만주발 고거에서 이 동화 메제바네 요바오
So
건데
the decent.
건데 수시반에 건데 수시반 도지 셰비트인지스 대량의 수지사데 네 대도지사데 고거레스 대량의 수지사데게 대제송비 도지 셰비트인지스 뭐던 수라 대담비 수den지도 민노사 대량의 수지네 대량의 수사도 무슨 때마다 술라 때마다 되는 거 고주에 말해 대송 비따지도 고 너고송 알아서 어떻게 고거랬어 이 동안 맞이반에 덤발아 고신
This so. Then it,
대비 대범 주바스
so once one knows this or understands these things about dependent origination, then the utmost respect then goes to the teacher, right? Meaning to Buddha Shakyamuni. Your all of your respect, almost like every bit of respect you have, then should go to the teacher once you know of these things. Then Kadir Shu Sheba, Kapdir Shu Sheba ne Tokgi Shebi Dun Yit Mudan Shu Kapdir Tanda.
아 왜지요
Kapdir Shu Sheba. 네.
다게는 내가 주로 가서 관계에 대한 통화에 자주 냐라 제신도 이제 더나 주든 줄로만 되게와신 대량의 수지네 수세들은와 수세도 무슨 때마다 술로 때마다 그거 말했어 고주요 말했어 수지스 대송비 따지 너들 고송하랬어 수지스
Shujin.
개바 jen shebana madako yitonwa majebana tambala kueshin debi deba majuba wosa de majuba yitonwa majeba tsina ana sanjil ko majeba deba majuba tanjila yitonwa majebas kander ti nyangan shujinas shusa dongonsu temba shula temba tan kujo mares ne 네 고송비 답제 셰비트는 이제 대량의 수제는
So it's saying through the force of this sorrow that I have for not being able to have met with you directly, may I intensify, may this sorrow become a force of intensity to learn what you have presented. So this sadness that I have inside of me, that is always there, I will use as a source to know what you have said in this system of excellence, or this, Okay, the cat did. Okay.
God the Shushaban Toji Shebiton Ages, more than Shuji, Dejambe, Shudenjiton Minos. The Tabjes at the most of them about the Shula temples that no go mares. This won't be Tabje, and the children, then the images and the woman was on the Tabje, and Jimamoko Negro, the water Nigel Kogores.
Ngudang shoot, Ngujor, Ngudang shoot,
More than shoots.
Ngu mambo your.
Most of them about the Shula temples go you. Choosing someone you must have as a Majaba Shadare, could. 니메 칼라사고 말으나 가르고서나 샘 칼라서 고고 말베 술 고고로 술라 추진 참 니메 샘에서나 아니 그 니메 그만 잡아셔라래 그 니메 칼라사고 말으나 그 잡아내 칼란사고는 샘 사와도 고고로 술라 템바스 어떤 거에 대한 수den서 어떤 일 고죠 말했어
So I think it's that like there isn't a source of information that is foreign to you. This person that we show that we are giving the utmost respect, there isn't a source of information that is foreign to that being. Just want to see if I can catch it in time. Danga. Not a source. Dangarongo sangu. Oh, there we go. A lot of those. Functional cause, real cause. So there knows the real causes and the secondary causes of all things. There is nothing with reliance that isn't known. Something like that. Nothing that has reliance that is not known. Then, okay. Okay, Geshe Rinpoche. Nyet Sampa Shuk.
Di nyanga shuji na, di nyanga shuji na, shuji ngwa den shu den lu gu jue ma, di dao ji nyanga di yue bi dao ji.
Oh, Gonga Mepachi Rinpoche, Cheek Jason. So the other is implied meaning. So there's a direct meaning and implied meaning. So for instance, Rinpoche gave if there's somebody who is very portly but doesn't eat anything during the day, you could imply that they probably eat at night. So all those things that are direct and all those things that are implied are objects that the Buddha is clear on. I believe that that's the point that's being made. I hope I'm not overcomplicating, as I usually do, something that isn't. But I believe that that's what this is pointing out. Okay.
Di nyanga shu se songken je menro. Song du yoba de sheken je yuwa res. Song du da na nyanga je mei sheba des. Nyanga je mei. Ane nyanga de mei zo ko war me paya. Nyanga je mei sheba de. Ane shu je da ne mela jo be so. Shu je da de ane mela jo res paya. O de songken je yu sare.
Dondagare, Gonga Mebachi, Nyanya me, the fire of practice.
Shuji saji yorwa, shu sayade, shu sheba. Shashu shukasa shu, tendril kualenga je yojiro da. Sheba ne, toji shebi tuen yinje.
Ja, enemy.
Ngwa no, damar da.
Ja.
Shuba ne, toji shebi tuen yinje. Di nyanga shuji sayade, shuba ne, toji shebi toji sayade, nina jiba res. Shuba ne, toji shebi tuen yinjes. Ngansu tenpa to shula tenpi tuen dama res. De tampe shu tenji tuen mino. Wen jang, shu she sondu yoba dares, di nyanga shu sayade, keba kashi songa ji yojiro ta, sonde yuwa res, songen yuwa res, yoba dana, nyangaj mei sheba de ane nyangaj baya nyangaj mei sheba de shuji dan mala jubo baya le jane ko len to jimendo di nyangaj shuji so de odel ko mo mala de jirota.
And so it's just saying that this practice is the there's something about fire in here, and then that's what I'm having trouble with. I don't think that it's imperative. Therefore, it's said that and so these are the practices that are like the fire. I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't want to just make up 25 things that it might be. I'm too much on the spot right now to pull it off. So I'm just gonna go from there. Okay, Diksan Rinpoche. Hey, it's Sampa. Shug. Just want to know.
Yeah. Da de de yi yang an ji dong yu gan de lang. Zhen ba jue ji song ro ji ci ne sang ba nas. De yi yang an ji dong yu ne gan de las. Ne sang ji ngo su shu ya ma ju ba dong so ge wa xian ba de yi yang an ji dong yu ne gan de lang. Zhen ba jue ji song ro ji ci ne sang ba nas. 네 소지 간주된 주 속에 체념을 상담바나 네 상바나 천순이다 비제좀 제주 바신 라도 바신 소지가 뭐데 땡데 상무도 송주를 산성 송주산이다 비제좀 제주 지네 네 꼴을 외지 저하고 수주 김에 네 군한테 송요아래서 어쨌든 아주 셀때 작은 도스 이 양아지 동유 건들랑스 줄롱어스 마토바데 네 거와시마르스 양아지 동유 건들랑 점바 최지 송로지 시련을 산다바나 간주된 주주 산다바나 상바나 산손이다 베지 좀 제주 사지가 마송도 사지를 찬송 송주산이다 베지 좀 제주 제대로
가이 주콜라송 가이
찬송 송주산이다 베지 좀 제주 제바 샤조 콜루센터 레비셔서 소질 체했던 몸이요. 샤조 콜루셔도. 찬송부 소주다니다 베지 좀보. 찬송이다 베지 제주 베지 로돈 바신스. 소지 콜때네 데모부요로다. 찬송주다니다 베지 좀 제주. 외지 자유. 외지 자유. 용수 꾸유 소지 콜루 외지 주도 그러다. 손들래. 그 점바티 송 연락도 주스 천년 장신 영어 이도 될어서 봐 안에 송 가서 그래 송라
송
안에 송 연락 주스 말해 송년 장신 영어 이도 됐어 어떤 의미에 조주였던 거 봐. 조주 당대비 참비 양지 최준된 최나 대마루바 최준된네 최다다도 송소냐도 산데스 산지거든데 송요아르서 가서 생일다고 알았어 산데 일라 토비 원부 최지 꾸이존이 샤데스 토비 원부 존이 뭐서든 이거 말이다 된 잡은 가서 생일 샤거로다
야 양주스르는 일라 투 양주
일라 토비 원부 최지 꾸이존이스 네 샤자 토바든데 주요 말에서 가서 생일 된거로다 어디서 그랬다 일라 토비 원부 최지스 가서 일라 가서 상로래 토비 원부든데 주요 말에 최송도든데 송요 말에서 가서 상을 당거로다 어디서 송도 말이야 가서 일라 얘기 상담바디세 토비 원부 최지 꾸이존이한테 된신네 샤와 장양스 네 꾸이존이 된신 샤거로스 된신 샤와 장양스 또바 된신 샤서로다 셰발라 또바다 또메 셰바니요로 또바도 술 된신 샤거로마도 또메 셰발 된신요 말어 당가서 가만서 용바인선 단가서 삼당대한테 또바로다
칼리칼리 도바 셰바 kam바 칼리칼리 림체
셰발라 또바도 또메 셰바니요 아레스 셰발라 또바도 또메 셰바니 또바도 가르서 나가서 가만서 용바인선 단가서 삼당 이 셰바지도 어디 또바레스 또바들 와데 벽에 유대 마이면 저주 셰바대 마이비 된셔스 괜찮아요 된셔 나와지 더버를 나와줘야 돼 된셔 나 가서 사직은 chuy인들은 송이 말해서 가서를 된들 살로데 또바로다 또바인 도면 셰바인선은 또바로다 또바인저 콜 된시작으로 벽에 사직대 많이 봐 서술로 대 많이 바로들 나와줘요 들 된셔라 된셔
도메 don't
된시로 당가서 사직들은 주요 말해서 살로 위로
산로
또바래
도바 유레
들 사직 한거로 사지 유디식으로 성적이 돈시 샤그래. 성진 잡지 나그래스.
Less so. Okay. Then Detsko Rinpoche, Ngade Lagyen.
갈래.
Okay, so now we get into, it talks about the qualities of the Buddha. So I'll just read 44 through 45, and then I'm going to read it in this one, and then I'm going to go into what we have thus far. So here too, as I reflect on your words, I think, blazing with the glory of the noble marks and hallowed in the lead of light rays, this teacher in a voice pristine melody spoke thus in such a way, the instant such a reflection of the sage's form appears in my mind, it soothes me, just as the moon rays heal fever's pains. Now, but when the thought of you teaching comes to mind, this is how the Master taught, blazing with the splendor of his signs and marks, encircled by an orb of light, and speaking with such a pure voice. Just the image of the Muni that I conjure in my mind soothes this pain, as does the light of the moon for one tormented by a heat of the sun. So here, there's many points that are made in here. Buddhist Shakyamuni, when we read about the fully complete Buddha, in terms of Buddha Shakyamuni, we find there are 32 major and 80 minor marks that the Buddha has, and a crown protrusion, and so forth. So when we go through this and look at the one you have, see if there's, it says, blazoned with the glory of noble marks. This is speaking of the 32 major and the 80 minor marks, making for a total of, I believe, 112 marks of the Buddha. 80, 90, 100, 110, 112. 112 marks in total of the Buddha. And it says that the Buddha's fingers and so forth are webbed of light, and light rays radiate or emanate from the Buddha at all times, like a glow, almost, I'd say the word orb, but it's almost like encased in light. And then the Buddha's speech, so then it says, the teacher in a voice of pristine melody. This is speaking of the 60 melodious rhythms that the Buddha's speech at all times gives off. There's 60 qualities of the Buddha's speech, and they're specifically called the 60 melodious rhythms. So this is what the pristine melody is speaking of. So when we're talking about conceptuality and non-conceptual, for instance, if we're thinking of going to our house, and we have a picture of our house in our mind. This is conceptual in reference to our house, a conceptual thought about going to our house. If it was non-conceptual, there wouldn't be any of this thought or movement. There wouldn't be any concept whatsoever attached to it. The definitions just doesn't really help. So when we're looking at thinking about the Buddha and thinking about the Buddha's qualities and so forth, we're doing so in a conceptual way because we're using an object, a concept. We're using the object of Buddha Shakyamuni, for instance, if we're meditating upon in Buddha in that way. All of these things that we're talking about, where we're reflecting on the Buddha's qualities and so forth, all categorically fall under conceptual knowing or conceptual consciousness, whereas the non-conceptual, as the translators note, occurs, for instance, at the uninterrupted path of seeing. So anyway, I wanted to see if I could find... Yeah, it's not going to be... the definition of a non-conceptual consciousness is a knower which is free from being a determinative knower that it apprehends a sound generality and a meaning generality as suitable to be mixed. Non-conceptual consciousness and awareness which is a collective engager are synonyms. Sorry. And conceptual consciousness is a determinative knower that apprehends a sound generality and a meaning generality as suitable to be mixed. So those are the differences, and in this case, when we're looking at a Buddha and an object, it's conceptual consciousness that we're utilizing. Okay, Diksong, Dopa, Dome.
Yila tubi zunyan shawa zang cawa yes. Yila tubi zunyan shajaman woda ke chunde de sungu yore se nga zang dangorwa. Tangdu wode ita tuba yin zang kule peke sanji de ma yinba, tashu sheba de ma yinba, tangwa ju yore se. Tuanshi de shagare se da shawa zang yang cawa yi, shawa zang yang cawa yi, donglan da zi jindu. cawa yi se de dreji dongwa las dreji. Ane nga desan tangwa du zubu sabanda changwa hada. cawa yi dreji dongwa la shawa zang yang cawa yi se de ge desan tangwa du zubu ji cahu na ji sanjil deban de ji wate ji wang du zubu dana ji wa menwa. dreji dongwa la shindu si dazi poba 차부 자들은 나와가 주원이 샤송의 세비여로 다즈르 펜비젠도 줘봐서 네 조불 때 차부 자송나 안는 다유 주원이 샤송의 조불 잠차 집여로다 다즈 펜비젠도 줘봐 진도스 네 샤와상 차와에 다기라 페버도 와트르 산당도 산질 대바지는 아주 셀 배분도스 Yila member de, pember judes, sel pember yungudus, de la sheba, de la chusung sambasan, de la ne, tende son between de la sheba shijang, toba sen las, tende de la, tende son de la, de se de la de, chude ne, de la sheba shijang, 다 드라인도 어딘데 고 마무 고전 노송 되다 시장 토바 센라사 샤와장 저 돌란다 리진도메 대다면도 중화이스 오네德朗 시번德朗 최종 상바나 쳔비베제 돈바德朗 세야데 시번 데네 텐데 sombe德朗 Tende yime jutenji dema maruba sombi sundalang, sheba shijang, toba senla so, o teneji kuwa lena laya nduwa sirida. Senla, dalang se, ane, ka jen to maze, ane ka jen to maze, cheba wasa, ane se ade, ka jen to maze se ade kogo res. Kaushen to mazi an sade de la an sade de la an kaushen to mazi jiba tunda jiba res jiba de tata nan de ne sheba ne tendu tenbi sunro zu chi wu sa de ne sheba ne tendu yimi jusin de bama zhu sunro de zu chi bu res tendu tenbi sunro 간주 된주도 제가 그 개처버려 쏘쳐버려스 개처버려스 샤와장 해봤네 뭐서 통화다 튀나 패반조와 따지면 뭐서 상직이 주소가 뭐서 통화는 배그로 왔다 마대바는 아주를 고바이나 되는 생을 배그레스 뭐서 통화다 튀나 패반조와 따지면 네, 다른 가서 무슨 통과만 듣다 보고나야 가서 생을 배우요 그래서 제바오 어디봐도 지찬이서
Garike Chenpo. So it goes on to speak of the qualities just as mentioned in here, just as the image of the Muni that I conjure in my mind soothes this pain, and does the light of the moon for one tormented by the sun, heat of the sun. So here, this conceptual bringing of the object of Buddha Shakyamuni to Lama Tsongkhapa's mind is what is being spoken of here. It's engaging in this single-pointed observation of the Buddha. And by first engaging in this conceptual idea that looks at all of these excellent qualities that the Buddha has, and then by thinking of those excellent qualities over and over, then bringing the image of that being, in this case the Buddha, to one's mind, soothes this sadness that he has for having not met with Buddha Shakyamuni directly, having to have all of this information secondhand, if you will, although it is accurate as firsthand, but that he wasn't able to be in the presence of this magnificence. But by thinking of these qualities and the things that Buddha had done, by bringing the object of observation of Buddha Shakyamuni into his meditation, in this case his, it quelled the sadness of having not been able to meet with this master. Daesung. So now we move on to another stanza.
Chetar nyeba saji song di ne tombo tendi de tu de lo zon te am kebe chu peba dajin to dag yin zemba shi chu de ton ne s o de ge tomba ni tu de den wo res
Su sena su bi ju su
da tendi sam tendi sam san dan ne kande yin na ne san dan euro Tuba, tu jo de denguares. Les antennes makebe, tu peba dajin do, nabakun zembashi, tu de ton sadege, ne tende sama tu denguares. Tu jo, tu, chetanya son dine, tombe tu de, les antennes makebe, tu peba dajin do, Nabakun Zimberge, Twenty Tone Saturday, then there's some of the two good those.
Is there anything in this book? Okay, so the first category is the causes of analysis. I'm going to use the word analysis. I'm not sure. I can't find this, but Rinpoche said kind of like things are not truly established because they dependently originate, this thinking. So the first category is the cause of that. The second category, sel pitsu, sel sena, sel. Sel.
Jo, Chetar Nyeba
Sai.
that then just say the Maru the Canadian Chua, Jud Carasana, and Jud the Tangos, Jo. Two Caras Suarasana, Sudan,
Nipa Donda.
Yeah, but tell you too, I know what the Tendi some of the country. Candidates Santan waters, say two.
Okay, how? Okay.
San non Geshe Lharampa, Chetar Nebas, and what the San Mamadan of the Geshe Lharampa, Chetar Nebo was I just want to do.
Jeta Nebo, Salamadan.
Salamadan Saba Mokoyon Rota. What the Chetar Nebas.
Okay, they're good enough.
Yeah. What that is what they thought, no, two Judro, two Jud de Dangandosa. Lozantin Makebe, tu Peba Dajento, Nabagun Zimbashi, tu de ton Satake, sui jut tenga dos kandes tenga dos ha sheba tarara ngota me do shwa yi tende ji namba jaba lozon teyan mekeshin keba lombas toni de me sheba je ne shegu yuen nyame ngaje yoke keba lombe chu tu tamhawa gaje gis ne keba mayina keba yinsan long de genge gaji ki bena peban dajin do naba gun zimba de chuba sheba was ne peba do chambu ina chansa chuba jagoro peban dajin do naba gun zimba de chuba sheso peba chambu ina de chansa ku ba zingro da peban dajin do naba gun zimba de chuba sheba 초바 근데 배반다 sheba 용안에 마다바 센데스 근데 배반다 세야데 아니 공 버샤 마다바레샤스 마다바 센데 용가질레 배반다시 용시 배반다 발레벨 배반다 시 종신 대양 야본 장소 지 자지 도시 잡아실라 시도사 데 배반자 시반 종화데 베지 다문도 스타데 데 배반자 시반 종화네 마다바 센데스 데 다문도 다바제나 가르스나 용가질레 배반자스 발레베 배반자 제도스 배반자 신종신스 안내 배반자스에도 가는 거고선 늘질 거고래서 대야 야본 산소스 야칼레 되네 본다 신나다 자다 뭐 요소스로 얻을질 야본 산소 지유 자질 고고도스다 자지도시 잡아실라 시도사 야칼레드네 봉나면데 신앙여서 봉여서 되는지를 어디 자든지 지요알스 자지도스야지 어디 자들 고고도스 자지도시 잡아실라 시도사 어디는 송산도스다 배반자세 마다바레스 배반자스 개방가지 어디서는 어디지 다버터에 손 인사.
Okay, so the next this excellent system, most marvelous, some individuals who are not so learned have entangled in utter confusion, just like the tangled balbaza grass. So this is a bush that grows in the mountains of Tibet. It's a bush that grows in the high mountains of Tibet. And knowing, so its branches and its roots all look the same. So it's easy to get confused what is what. So it says, how entangled in utter confusion, just like the tangled balbaza grass. So this, is that how it's said in here? Balbaza, this belbaza grass. Bebaza. So in the summer, it seems that these grow. It's kind of bush that grows during the summer in Tibet. So what it's being saying here is that those unwise, those who are not scholars, mix up the teachings. Just like you can't tell what's the root and what's the branches, unwise scholars can't distinguish what's correct and what's not correct in terms of the various systems that are taught. So here it says this excellent system, referring to the Madhyamaka Prasangika, so the highest school, the middle way consequence school. The middle way consequence school, most marvelous. So some scholars, individuals who are not such scholars, have been confused about it, just like the confusion of this Belbaza, not being able to know what the branches and what the roots are. So it says, so these people always mix it up. It says, basically, and literally it says, so those kind of people always mix it up. Here, have entangled in utter confusion. Nampa kundu zimpa che.
Nampa kundu zimpa che, danga zo tsamma wuyo na tsam dusun dedio ro ta. Wo tenda wure se ta.
So yeah, they just like the Belbaza bush is easy to mix up. These persons completely mix up the teachings. These unskilled persons. Selvaду Rinpoche, Tuchina.
Kanta ya panzin chunzin su yuebi zai reishe lo gogo do se za. Za nyangdu mabu yon den zede ro ta.
So the roots and the branches and so forth, they're all together, so it's hard to distinguish.
Zai reishe te za de chu ne yueba tejin dos, za nang sun pe su den zede ro. Yueba tejin dos, example.
Sobulu.
Yeah. Yueba tejin to, de jaga keba da pepi keba jeba te, da na, den shebe, tendi debi sunro zo chogos, tendi den sheba ne, Tsunde tones, tsunde sade, de sheba ne, tendi debi sunro, tendi imi jusen de mama ro sunro kanju tenju tu marbe, sunro zo chwa. Oto su kechibares.
So the pronouncement of things are not truly established because they dependently originate, that has been found in the Khensur and Tenzin, is of utmost importance. Nene?
That's the cause of shawa zang yang sheba ne, ngonsu tongwa tang tui na, penpan juwa tachi mens, shaja mana boda ngonsu tongwa tang tui ba ina, sen la penpa ta kicha yue ma res. Ngonsu ma tongba ina ya, shaja mana diraji yue ba res, san la tang ba ina ya, sen la penpa yue res, penpan juwa tachi mens, jim penpa wo.
So just thinking of this, it's a true. Natsu de Lobsang.
What a terrible. Lozan te amakebi, Jew Peban Zajin do, Nabakun Zimbabwe, Jew Peban Zajin, Jew Beban Zajin. Peban Zajin said, Beban Zajin, Jew Peban Zajin said, the Madabaris, Beban Zajin said, Tabaris.
Listen.
Beban Zajin do, Nabakun Zimbabwe, person day. That person, Tang Asuka, person drove us from the child of Marabel. What then to go in Jerota? Jew Peban Zajin to Nabakun Zimbabwe is Tobaja and the wrong, I am person Devashiva. Zimbabwe. Hasheba to Motametushon de Tendeji Nabajaba, Luzombatean, Makishin, Kebalumbi, Ju Peba,
Kangalos.
Ju Trotamon, Gajiki, Pena, Peban Zajin dos, Nabakun and Zimba to Chuba Shebas, that person Reda Najin, and the Ganga Trubushan and Reda Garota.
Lesser.
What then is one is that Sheba, Shesos. de Pebanda Sheba, Juan Madaba Sentes, Gajile, Bebanda, Shen Jungshins, Tean Tendakar Gogorsana, Tean, Yabun Tansos, Yakale, Bung Tanso, Ji, Zato, Tasedus, Zajuars, Hotel Gogors, Tabashila, Shedos, Kanta, Panzin Tunin Suyebi, Zai Rishides, Zanyangdu Yanadus Zedoroda. The Najin and the Trouble Trouble Chatter, Zen Deader, what then you go
Less so.
Rishi de Zad True Ne Yoba Jento, Zad Pension Radio, Yoba Tejento, Jabeji, Keba Lomba, Jagatan, Pepe, Keba Maimba, Keba in Salon, Keba Kelon Tomes. Keba Lumba, Keba Maimbala, Keba Insan, Najeje de Kenge, Tome, Trota Susi, Chabatan, Dongaje Gumba, Trandunji, Ewa Leber, Masheba, Ne Mashi Lojeji, Trubasheba was Mashi Loji Trubasheba. What did you go that?
Okay, so when we just go through that one more time, it says that there are those who are unskilled, and many who get confused when they look at the varying tenet systems. It's like in the summertime when this belbaza bush grows in the mountains. Its branches and its roots are very hard to distinguish what's what. It all grows entangled in one another. Rinpoche said they become friends almost. They are all entangled and mixed up, and it's very hard to tell the difference. Likewise, those who are untrained, those who are not learned, confuse the tenet systems and are unable to distinguish what is what. So it's saying that our beautiful system, so speaking of the highest system, is one of those that gets confused. So it's saying that that's it. Let me see, make sure I'm not missing anything. Digson. Yeah, Digson. So, Nipa ne.
Da Nipa Terwa, Tui the Teji, that Zay the Kandasana, Zay Nipa Zay Tune, that Truba Shibi, Tundes, that Truba Shibi Tunde, and Tun the Tone, Dagi Hisiatro, Tun Tone Situ Gujaja Dua, Tun the Tone, Dagi ne. Beba Domain Kebai, Jisundane, Chujine, Gomba Yandan says that Trubashibi Tundes, that person Dreadiat, Trubashibi Tunde, Dagi, Beba Domain Kalimabajano, Pachatane, and Kebatomai, Beba Domain Kebai, Jisundane, 최주 공부 양도 찾아면 보다 최지 나 공부도 간대이나 양나도 제긴 상당히 공부 양도 tel 다된 레바도 간대서는 레바들에도 콜로존 잡이 베지 다된 또 방송간 제르무처럼 로존 잡이 베지 나죄지 레버 통유 나죄지 레버 통유 진신에 Dagene Bebatome, Ludu Tome So, Jayu Gomba, Dewala Samajubi, Payuji, Kebai, Sorone, Shibi, Jesu Dane, Tamba Chujine, Ne Gomba Leji, Maimba, Yanto, Zalos, Kebi Jesu Dawanda, Sonrola, Shibi, Jesu, Dan Ganshe Magelos, Keba Jesunan Saldan Digre, Pachal Sandan and Digre Gayo Mare, Chibares.
The Yanja Suriname?
Colonel Dabi pages, that Jeremiro. Lono Dabi page, Na Juji Lebaton, you change, 다 가다 됐으면 제르머제 텐디도 송고야 주센도 가르스나 제르머제게 되네 돈이 산 뭐보다는 다 돈이 두비치 돈이 두바 인지로다 돈이 두들래 안 상제당 어떠들 그 레rel라서 어떠들 이시시 좀 이시시 레그로다 들렌던 텐디 저버도 좀 바인스 어더레드 말베 어더레드다 제르머제 다 돈이 두소나 돈이 두버레스 돈이 쳔바레스 돈이 쳔도 제르머제 툴 네 가치비 중에 된데 저버도 제버레스 어디부터 되는 도와
The Lozan Drapa Doni Dopi Shira Tonson Dene.
돈이 다 제르머제 돈이 뭐 공원 돈이 도바 인지로 돈이 도된 제르머제 툴 가치비 용으로 봤다 된데 저버도 제용어레스
The Kon Tonlan Lesson.
돈이 도버스
Doni Dopi Shira.
돈이 도시라 줄리 집에 인지로다
Ah,
집 주인이면 한 돈이 도시라 제사 유지로다 돈이 도송선 또 제르머제 돈이 도버레스 된 돈이 제르머제 툴 가치고 용버레스 된 손질 도바된데 도바도 제용어레스
so Lama Tsongkhapa again and again meditated upon dependent origination, and when he had the realization of dependent origination and had so much joy came over him that he wrote this text. So he's writing this in the first person because it's an experience that he has actually had. Upon seeing this, I relied upon the works of sages and diligently sought your true intent again and again. So upon seeing the truth, upon realizing this emptiness that has been presented, the emptiness let me start over. So it started with, what is the reason for writing this? The reason for writing this is because Lama Tsongkhapa realized this dependent origination that the Buddha has taught, and a great joy came over him, and for clarification purposes of that dependent origination that has been taught and that has brought him joy, he wrote this text as an expression. This is the reasoning behind Lama Tsongkhapa's writing of this text from experience. Diso.
What that three Judan, say three Chatani, Chetanieba, Somba Chetanieba. Chetanieba la ni, say Chunga Manieba, Lami Tiji Niebas. Then the image you say the Maru, the Kaleshira Majan, the Shetu Mares, say Chunga Manieba. Lami Tiji Niebas, that Lama treated Lama the Shikenjilo, the Mamu Kobaina, and the Nyangres. Lami Tiji Nieba, that Tombo, say Chunga Manieba, the Nudua.
Say Chungo Maniepa,
Say Chunga Maniebas and the Kaleshira Majana with the Shetu Mares, then the images and the Omaru Shetu Mares, Kalimajan Santa Ures.
Okay, so now we get into the third, a new section where there will be 2 points that are made. One is that without really putting in, it's like the word for difficulty, but it means like that kind of effort. Like without putting in difficult amounts of effort, nothing will come of it. And then the second is the Lami Jengi, relying upon the teacher. One is the second part, something to do with the teacher's needing the teacher for this. So we begin with this first category. Dixon.
What the Somba de la Sajini did, the Sechungu Manieba, the Lami Tiji Neba Niganona, Sechungu Manieba the Kanderzana, the name one is.
So the first one is the difficulty, the need for the difficulty.
Chijin Dewa, Londenba, Lulu Junu Kundi, Chime Chimbi Chinguji, Sonro Kala Tomejo, Tenzin Shinga Mabasi, Roman Jugar Seneba, Baden Dayu Leshi, Yoga Tree, Seshiba, Lamrim Tinji Tonse, Dagi and Sutos.
Rinpoche, Theomare. There you not so good.
Titaman what the Jeremiah what the
Ditserang Shinde.
This is Rajan Devais.
It's Shugu Cheek.
This is Rajan Devais.
The Sumba Ni Se Chung Dumanyepa Dan Lami Demba Tambo Ni
Lami Jijineba
Tambo
Say Kali Chun Shetu Mares, Kali Mamaja Ures, Say Chungu Maneba dance, Lami Jijinebas.
The 48 Gu Rinpoche. Chiran Jipju
Lami
Jigu.
Jijineba the road.
Dene?
Say Chungu Maneba dance, Lami Jijineba.
Lessa.
Say Chungu Maneba de Yundu.
Dene? Yomar.
Chijin de Wallon Demba.
Rinpoche. Trankai Dan Jip Jigu.
She dun Jale.
Okay.
Gongel
Mepajik.
Say Chungu Maneba dan, Lami Jijineba Niji. That say Chungu Maneba the Kadersina. Say Chungu Maneba the Kali Chunju Umar, Kali Mamaja Ures.
So it's not a little amount of easy effort that will be enough. It's a lot of hard work that's going to take in order to be able to accomplish this.
Say Chungu Maneba the Kadersin, they then go res. The Rajan Debai, Juman Dala Jamba na. Shishi Tetun Trai, Dagi no Kundudons. That Jeremiah Namba the Shabak Juma Jamba is. Tatul Jean de and Saint Toba Movajene, Dagi no Kundudons, Saint Majiba Mundos. The Rajan Debai, Juman Dala Jamba nas, Shabbat Nabi Pacham Ziba in Zero. Juman Dala Jamba na, Shish Tetun Tawai, Tezum Mabacheun, Toba Mamacheun dos, Dagi in the Kundu, Dagi in the Kundu Don, Saint Majiba dos. That in Jabadla Karsana, Tetra Tice, Rantan Jenji Debai, Julu Mota, Jamba na, Dagi, Shetu Matubala. Dash Shabbat Naba Juno, Shetu Madab Momoyodro. Matubala Tene, Sheshel Ha, Kam Mateje, Sheshawala Subi, Tazum Tawai, Tuabo, Dagine, Gunto de Radu, Donso, Sen Majiba Yundos.
Kabir. Detatsewa. Okay, so this is showing again that just a small amount of effort will not suffice. One needs to engage in a large amount of effort. So it says, upon seeing this, I relied upon the works of the sages and diligently sought your true intent again and again. Seeing the situation, I strove with a multitude of efforts to follow after the learned ones and sought your intention again and again. At such times, as I studied the numerous works of both our own middle way and other schools, my mind became tormented ever more, constantly by a network of doubts. So here it's showing this difficult and the difficult effort that needs to go in to learning such things as the tenets and so forth. Sangi Tetsum Gija.
Tezun Tawai, Dagi no Kundudons. That Nambi Pachatan, Shibi Pachal, San Mamatan, Tezun Toba Mosagundus, Toba Mozan, Saint Majiba Yundos.
Lesso.
Dagi no Kundudons. That on the Germache, Jagal Pedajebro, Gama. Jagal Pedajena, and the Pejin Jambayang Mapesuma in the Jimado. The Juno German Saint Toba Mundos. Jagat the Yansar the Lumen Louis Shanchu, say then to another shoot Menroa. What the Bajil to Batra and the Gumba Menroa. Jagal Pedro Jena and Jamia Jerota, chunumda den digger that the chulhuma mo the tag sugar is. And Japan so the Kalitusa Dejana and the shame was so in what the Logisha what to say.
They call it Gongyo Mepichi Lamatson Kappa Jakarla Pesa?
Jagal pegging is a gentleman.
Peggy.
Pegging is Somara.
Okay.
Pegging is. Then what the Tepi Loda Russian Legend. She got that you know the Mabi Churun Pena, Churun Homa Kotabana jealous about the Tag sugar is. Jagal touch of race.
Ale.
The Kalikab Churun that Kebam is.
Lesso.
And then what they built in Tusa Dejanji, what the Jena, and the Shenagar is one thing said.
Lesso.
What the Logisha.
And we find in some of the stories of Lama Tsongkhapa as he was in this quest, you see here that it says that he was studying all of the different tenet systems of Buddhist and non-Buddhist, and his mind was being filled with doubt. And again, this word doubt is one of the steps to direct perception. So in Buddhism, when you look at the 7 consciousnesses, so this doubt isn't this bad thing that we would think, oh, he doesn't believe in it. That's not what it's saying. It's saying that there's a lot of information that he needs further analysis because now he knows so much. So this doubt then turns into things that tend to be true, and then it gets to inference and then becomes a direct perception. That's a very compact way to go through. There's more steps. But that whenever you see that word doubt, it's a specific word that it means they're on the way to direct perception. Doubt isn't a negative always in Buddhism. It says, just as a translator's note, that even having doubt about emptiness shakes samsara. So that's the doubt that we're talking about that's here. So it's one of the steps to direct perception, as in Aryadevas. So let me see. So Buddha Shakyamuni, there's one part that I'm missing though. So Lama Tsongkhapa then wanted to go to India because he wanted to further this understanding, and Rinpoche says the name wasn't sure, but thinks it was an emanation of Manjushri perhaps, that said that India is very hot and you have many things there are many scholars here, and you have many students and so forth to take care of. So there's no need for you to go anywhere further than you are right now to understand what you seek. Like where you're standing, you can know what you're seeking. So then Lama Tsongkhapa didn't go to India. You can see this if you look at some of the stories of Lama Tsongkhapa. You can see this in it with more detail, I'm sure.
Tse rajen deba yi zhoma tala zhamba na sheshe tuzun tawa yi dagi yi na kundu dung. Ti dunda karisi na te tere tsewa ti tses, tsewa ti tse. Ranta jinchi deba yi zhunglu mobu tala zhamba nas, sheba da naba kupasha mobu dusan tangdu zhamba na. Tada ki shi tsui mutun pala ten ne shishir la kam me te che shawa la subi. Tuzung ji jawa yi tsuwa bu da ki san tang da la ne sen la ma ji ba yung du si yi ne kundu te ro du dong so de rang ki deba na ba san je ba tang jen ji deba shuri bu tu ta la shu ba te yung yang tenyi ji she bi yung na la kan ju ten ju da shuri bu pa sha tu den jirwa Nala she guba sensos yuan ranga yenji jutar ranga yenji jutar shebi gozo ne ranga dan yen parudo shebi jutala alese tese rangen deba yi jumotala jamba nas rangens rans yate ranga Ranga yenji juta ranga rangsana naba sanji bi pacha yenji juta shiribi juta nabi juta shiribi juta shebi koso ranga tang yen paru du shimba juta la sheba yodos tese rangsa yade ane tese rang saya de ane rang de khan lo goya ndo dang ha ni ge no ne kha jen sa de paru shin ba ndo dang ha ge shin yong de zul jang wa de ne ge chan do se yuan zhe rang ha rang a ye ji zhu ta xie bi ge su rang de khan le song sa do se tang zha
Rang
rang de wa de khan le tang zha lo goya do se tang zha
ngam
jen se paru de shin ba
ale
하나 바로 드신 걸 장 워스
ale
어떤 우송 된서
ale rangam nga
랑하다
jin baro
제 바로
de
드신 바스 랑도 하라고 제도 바로 드신 비 하나 바로 드신 비 용도 장 조탈라 셰방 여도스 된데 도스다 개바 송수 된 도스
Okay, so it is what the true scholars know. It is the tantra and tantric and the perfection vehicles and their tenets that are the correct way to get to the other side, are the actual perfection. Borrowed the Shimba means going to the other side. Perfection are the tenets of perfection. Yeah, so the tenets that bring you to the other side, the tenets of perfection. Ale, karma Jew.
다들 어떤 달라면 뒤지냐 봐서 어떤 도샤나 라면 뒤지냐 봐서 라마로 어디 치킨 라마를 버차 뭐 티산 뭐 당나는 시용 거래서 라면 뒤 최지 라면 TV 주세 최지 라 사자모도 보다 최지 라면 TV 라나메비 TV 주 여다메비 타본데 여다메비 다 주는 대바마르 주데 여다메비 타보 제진대와 롱된 바스 네 제진대와 롱된 바도 고물로 주다 파바 투메니 말바 나는 양안 되고도 론네 제자래 바나 로슈베디 유드네 글롱파단 쳐다봐 데밀로시 벼바데 여다메비 쇼지바 네 가사 여다메비 쇼지바스 로드고 롱된 말바 사제 양안 되는 로제자에 돼서 자가 로슈 고물로 배그레스 되는 어때 사제 같은 주도 소리 듣는 데바 장용 거래서 대바 준비 신디 수제 그래서 론데 제진대와 론데 바스 고물로도 바바도메 제진대와 론데 바 로드 존로 군디체 오마레 토토 제메 준비 진고지 손으로 칼라 토메죠 탄진 힘이 봐서 로민 주가 세네바 바덴다 유레시제 외가 제세시바 라멘 진지 토유세 다게 증가수 토스 다제는 뭐지 어때 로두다 바덴다 하다베 존도들 장네 되는 생을 도바 뭐 쳐는 가 생을 제부 종송스 제진도와 로데 봉고모 로두 졸로 군디체 오마레 소투 제메 쳔비 진고지 손으로 칼라 토메죠 제메 쳔비 네 제메 쳔비 진고지 손으로 칼라 토메 달 버자고 말바 달 나가샤오도 네 강가 세는 거보다 손으로 칼라 토메죠 로두기 쳔바되게 너당하 참말로데 투버 멤버스 손으로 쳔비 진고지 손으로 칼라 토메죠 탄진히 그 멤버스 힐로도 도박가 세노도스 로민 주가 세너바 바덴다유 레시지 ወገት 세세바 라민 진지 통유세 다기 진가 수토스 바덴다와다 오만 조바 잔딜라소바 치셀라소바 어떠서 제용들레데네 네 제르미젤 도바 모쳐노고 도스다 로민 주가 세너바 바덴다유 레시지 바덴다와다 오만 조바 junde tang sese to yoro wa de sul zidule baden da yule sheji we ka tin se she ba baden da yule she to dal ba ja ba yin bere we ka tin se she ba la min tin ji tong yu se da yi jing a su to sen do ba chue ne an dong ba ni chen su song de za de.
Okay, so now we move on to the next stanzas. 49, 50, and 51 will be read. So if I didn't read 48, I'll read it right now. I think I did. At such times as I studied the numerous works of both our own Middle Way and other schools, my mind became tormented ever more constantly by a network of doubts. And then Rinpoche gave some commentary as he read through this, so I'll do the same because we're, I think, running out of time. The night lily grove of Nagarjuna's treatises, Nagarjuna whom you prophesied would unravel your unexcelled vehicle as it is, shunning extremes of existence and non-existence. So when the Buddha passed into nirvana, he stated that when they asked who would be able to keep the great vehicle in this world system, who would be responsible for that, and there was a prophecy that Master Asanga and Nagarjuna would come in the future and clarify the middle way, and clarify the great vehicle tenet systems. So here you see Nagarjuna being presented, but historically you also see Asanga being prophesied by the Buddha as well. Would unravel your unexcelled vehicle as it is, shunning extremes of existence and non-existence, so the two extremes. Illuminated by the garland of white lights, O Chandra's well-uttered insights, Chandra whose stainless wisdom orb is full, who glides freely across scripture's space. Here this is in reference to Chandra Kirti, who wrote the entrance to the middle way, which was a commentary on Nagarjuna's root wisdom text, the Mulya Madhyamika Karika. So here this is in reverence to Chandra Kirti. And I don't even see in this one. And then who dispels the darkness of extremist hearts and outshines the constellations of false speakers. When through my teacher's kindness I saw this, my mind found a rest at last. Dutsusar Rinpoche. Ngatsu Dutsusar.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we'll end there. So we are now, we'll probably go over this again. So stanza 49, 50, and 51 is where we left off. I'll star that. Circle, star. What's the date today? The date. Sepa Juni Darig Du. Okay. So we'll do the concluding mandala offering and dedication prayer. I don't know if I have one. The fundamental ground is scented with incense and strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the four continents, the sun, and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha land and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure realm. I dedicate whatever virtues I have collected for the benefit of the teachings and of all sentient beings, and in particular for the essential teachings of Venerable Lama Sandrapa to shine forever. Send forth this jeweled mandala to you, precious Guru. I dedicate all this virtue to emulate the knowledge of the hero Manjushri and likewise Samantabhadra as well, with whatever dedication is praised as supreme by all the conquerors who traverse the 3 times. I also dedicate all my roots of virtue for the sake of auspicious deeds. In that pure land surrounded by snowy mountains, you are the source of all benefit and happiness. All-powerful Avalokiteshvara Tenzin Gyatso, may you stay until samsara's end. I pray for the long life of the precious Khensur Wandak, upholder of scriptural and realizational doctrines, spiritual friend who trained extensively in the 5 great philosophical texts with exceptional wisdom and perseverance. Tuji Rinpoche Gutsi Shapi Denronang Atsu Chenmo Dan Dendel Dopa Kanga Chironang. Shira Sobodu.